Hello, hello, hello. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, chat. Hi, Pumpkin. Hi, Sinclair. It's here. It's finally fucking here. It's here. The ARKNIGHTS collab. I've been waiting for so long for this. I'm so fucking excited. I'm so excited, chat. You might explode. But yeah. God. It's so nice. Oh god. I love the visual for this. It's so cool. It's so cool. It's so cool. And also, Ishii is free? It's fucking crazy. Plus is... I won't lie, it's like not too bad of like a passive. Like when they showed off all of the egos on Twitter, holy shit. Me and Freezer were yapping. If you told me you drink a liter of coffee, I wouldn't believe you. Also, chat broken once more. Yeah. God, I hate stream elements sometimes. I'm gonna morb, chat. I'm gonna morb. Minty regret. Anyway, should we start off with this? Holy shit. I don't think I'll touch tickets because I kind of want it to be an even number since there is a daily login. Yeah, ready to finally unload your lunacy? Oh boy, am I! I asked Freezer for his luck when he came over today. I was like, please, give me your luck! Hand it over, please. I need it. So hopefully I stole it from him. Anyway, you know what? Yeah. Let's just go for it. Okay. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's warming up. You know, it's just warming up. It's just warming up. I guess the ego that I'm most wanting is kind of Greg's because it is another wall, but like getting all three would be the goal. Blue is what you want to look for? Okay. 30 pulls in 14 days, granted 110 is not usable here? Yeah. Okay, nothing. Head pat the ego? You're so right. You get head pats, and then you get head pats. Thank you. And then you get head pats. All right, I head pat all of them. And okay, game. That's an ID, not an ego.
그래. 내가 쌍갈고리 해적단 부선장 그레고르다. 사인이라도 해줘.
Wrong, Gregor. Wrong, Gregor. At least it's Greg. Yeah. I'm looking for egos though. Holy shit, game, please. Oh, hi, Isaac. Welcome to the stream. Are you crying yet? I don't know. I think I'm only like, what, halfway through? Yeah, I'm like, oh god. Okay, please. No, no, really? 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 If I get to like 100 pulls and I get nothing but like one of them, I'm gonna scream and shout and let it all out. That's not... Can I please get an ego?
신발의 흙은 제대로 타셨습니까? 부디 당부드리건대.
Butler Otis.
Oh
God, this Otis, I don't need you right now. Otis, I don't need you right now. Do I? Okay, what if I head pat the collab characters? So like head pat Calcit, right? Head pat Calcit and head pat Monster. Yeah, get them head pats. Yeah. Okay, I get them head pats. Hongli Yorga head pats. Where's Ling? Where is Ling? Where is that Sui sibling? There she is. Yeah, okay, give her the head pats. Okay. Okay, last we got Mr. Uncle. We gotta wait till he shows up. Head pat the water puppies? The dragons? Okay, I'll head pat the dragons. Alright, come on. Uncle, where is he? Where is Uncle? There's Uncle. Head pats. You already got head pats, but you get more head pats. You get head pats. Water puppy. Water puppy. Water puppy. 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 Okay, they get head pats. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my god. Is it too late to cry? It's like... Is it too late to cry? Oh my god! That's another... I don't need IDs! Oh my god! Oh, it's not even a good Marisol ID. Like, yeah, I guess on like a charge team, but like, I don't have a charge team. Please? Oh my god. Chat, I think Kim Ji-yoon hates me. I think Kim Ji-yoon hates me. Holy shit. Nothing in 90 polls. I'm... Wow. Okay, this is fine. It's fine. I swear. It's fine. You know what? Let's just play the event. Yeah. Let's just play the event. Okay, there's no one hard mode. Wait, is it like ARKNIGHTS where, Do I have to clear normal and hard separately, or is it if I clear hard, I also clear normal? Main account pulls, did you already pull on my main? I already pulled on my main. And it went just as bad. 124-ish pulls? And I only got Honglu. I got like, I think 7 3-stars that I already all own. And like the one new ID I got was Dave at Rhodia. And that was it. It was a pain. Do you want a hug? It's okay. I'm a big I'll be fine, I think. I'm just a little heartbroken, that's all. If you clear hard, you clear above? Okay, good. Good. Alright. I guess we'll try. What the fuck? Okay, question mark? Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be very interesting. Actually, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Remember to collect the progress lunacy on both because they are separate. Ah, okay. You can borrow my IDs. I have all of them equipped. You know what? Sure. Who should we go for? Mr. Who has it? Oh, it says right there. Brilliant Glory. That's crazy. All right. Let's play the story before before this gets more depressing. Oh, hi Freezer. Yeah, that you said you're gonna give me my luck. No, it didn't show up. It did not show up. I was exploring a lobotomy corporation branch when my consciousness sinks into the depths. The sense of cognition itself, a concept without form, floats into the shadow of an ever-widening river swept up in its currents to nowhere. When we ran into an abnormality, but Saw told us that Hongyuan's lobotomy corp branch should be free of any abnormalities. The abnormality, which had appeared out of nowhere, was more otherworldly than any we'd encountered so far in our journey, and deep blue. It was a fathomlessly blue and seemed to have a pull that endlessly drew us into itself. Just as I was about to recall this abnormality, a myriad of sceneries and a flood of incalculable thoughts crashed into my mind like mind waves before ebbing away from its shores. I was already lost and adrift somewhere within my own consciousness when I realized this. Just how long am I going to be adrift? The sensation of my own consciousness floating away is quite the unfamiliar one. I floated about in that strange state for a while. Is that Dante? An unfamiliar voice seizes my aimlessly drifting consciousness. Are you Dante? The fog of my vision clears as the voice breaks through the waves, and a concerned expression comes into view. Yes, I am. Ah, what a relief. Greg, I think Dante has come to. So, who are... I was supposed to ask further questions to this stranger with particularly long animal-like ears, but... Oh, he's... Damn, Dante got migraines. I felt the drowsiness coursing back with the terrifying memories of the dream, rendering me unable to speak. I have to get a hold of myself. After an indeterminate amount of time had passed, I barely managed to wake myself from slumber to get a grasp of my surroundings, only to find myself surrounded by more unfamiliarities. Ooh. She looks so pretty! They drew her so well. Aww. There was that stranger from earlier, sitting atop a rock silently taking the sights. A young girl who probably saved my life. Wait, so we're just animal ears after all? Okay, that's not important right now. I have to prioritize figuring out where in the world I ended up in. So, we're standing by the Iberian coastline. How are you feeling? A little out of it, but I'm okay otherwise. Iberia, huh? Yes, we're in Iberia. Well, given that we're next to an ocean, maybe I drifted all the way to Eucorp's Great Lake? Iberia was an unfamiliar name, but that's all I had to go on, given that the city was still full of more unknowns than knowns to me. I radioed your colleagues when you briefly woke up earlier. They'll be here any minute. I see. Oh, she gets a sprite! Good for her! Aww. She's so cute. Wait, my colleagues? You must have run into the sinners then? The fog of my mind immediately cleared as soon as I realized that the sinners were all nowhere to be seen. Sinners? I think so. I ran into them earlier. They were looking all over the place for someone with a clock for their head. It was a pretty unique description, so I could tell right away that you were the person they were looking for. So this clock head does come in handy. 관리자 양반. Manager bud. Tante? I've woken up in an unfamiliar place to an unfamiliar face, and in the midst of it all, around sense of displacement, the faces that appeared before me were certainly a sight for sore eyes. Gregor Hong Lu! Miss Rabbit here told me she found you unconscious by the ocean, and whew, I came by as fast as I could, and oh boy, I was worried that something bad might have happened. Glad to see you're doing fine. Were you lost at sea? I don't know. Well, I do think I'm fine though. I guess not having any way to drink water is finally come in handy. You should go get that checked out just in case. Wait, your head's waterproof, right? Gregor takes a moment to steady his breathing and then mutters a casual quip as he lights a cigarette. Well, he doesn't seem that concerned. Maybe we're not actually in that much danger? So, what happened? Where are we? Do you remember entering that... Entering? Entering. That Lobotomy Court branch Shichin told us about? Yeah. Yeah, we ran into a new abnormality and got sucked into it before we even had the chance to do anything. Man, I really thought that was it for us, especially with you getting sucked in there too, Manager Bud. But when we came to, despite waking up with our faces down in some ditch, we're all fine without a scratch. Though there was quite the mess when we realized you'd gone missing. We wanted to search for you immediately, but it took a while before we got a better bearing of where we were. So we're not at Eucorp's Great Lake? Some of us considered that to be a distinct possibility, but it's unlikely. Ishmael was really certain that we were not in District 21. She did concede that we might be in an unknown area within the Great Lake of the outskirts, but that doesn't seem likely either given what the rabbit-eared lady there said. Why is Berg so short? Small Amia? Yeah. When in ARKNIGHTS story do you think this takes place? I mean, we're on the boat, so like probably after Soltafira? Nevis? Maybe? Maybe approximately then? The outskirts region of the Great Lake. I've met all kinds of people from all over Terra, but I've never met anyone who referred to the Iberian Sea that way. Terra? Iberia? As I found myself puzzled by these unfamiliar terms, a very obvious question suddenly struck me. Speaking of which, who are you? Huh? Really? You fellas haven't introduced yourselves to each other yet? It's just that this is a lot to take in. It's understandable. You did just wake up from a pretty harrowing experience. She is, actually, would you like to do honors yourself? I'm Amiya, the leader of Rhodes Island. Please, just call me Amiya. I'm Dante, manager at Limbus Company. I know I'm late, but thanks for saving my bacon. Thanks for saving my bacon. It seems that this rodeo island's a big corporation, but... Gregor trails off ominously and scratches his head before continuing with some mild trepidation. This young lady with the rabbit ears doesn't know what the head is at all. As far as I know, there aren't any organizations in Terra with the same characteristics as the one Mr. Gregor explained. At least not with a name like the Head. Also, sorry, it's Rhodes Island, not Rodeo. Sorry, Gregor is kind of bad with names. So what you're saying is that we're not in the city anymore? It'd be weird for any higher up at these huge corporations to know less about the Head than we do, let alone be clueless about it. Well, maybe we tumbled into a previously undiscovered zone at the outskirts or the ruins, probably. Or maybe we really found ourselves in a completely different world. If their conjecture was correct, we're in way bigger trouble than I thought. This wasn't like the time we accidentally stranded ourselves in the outskirts via the door in the corridor. Amiya stared at me with some concern as though she felt my distress. I think I can draw a connection to something else that's happening here. Really? Yes. Recently, anomalous signs and events have been occurring in Iberia ever since a mysterious dimensional door appeared at sea. It's been said that this dimensional door connected to something very, very distant. To something we've never observed before, so... Seems reasonable to theorize that the dimensional door is how we managed to cross over to this world. I really would appreciate if Faust's input. Where'd all the sinners go anyway? A bit late on the update to be gawking around for those other sinners now, don't you think? They're at a settlement near here, where they're helping out with various odds and ends of the village, while taking turns searching for Dante, of course. You know, I never thought about how difficult it would be. What was that sound? Greg? Did he just crack his bones? Greg? That's not good. I don't think that's a good thing. I swear he's developing an exoskeleton. Oh god. You know, I never thought about how difficult it would be to search for someone when we're like fish out of water. Man, barely got even a wink of sleep since yesterday. Everyone's gotta be really tired then, so it's just you two out here for now? No, Ishmael and Izang are on the other half of the search party. We just happen to be the last group of the rotation. They must be searching elsewhere to find you, Manager Bud. We got the news early thanks to Amiya's comm gear, but the other team didn't. Yeah, we got lucky. The other team, well, we don't have any way to get in touch with them, so they'll probably continue their search until their shift's done. Oh, are we talking about that village you mentioned earlier? Uh-huh, right. You not been there yet, huh? I guess this is off the beaten path. Well, we're gonna have to rendezvous with the other sinners anyway, so... Ah, pardon me. Well, let's head to the village for now. Wait, how is Amiya understanding Dante? How? Hello? How? What? Something seemed to pique Amiya's interest as she fell into a contemplative silence before carefully speaking up. I would like to accompany you there. Sure, I don't see you. Why not? You helped us find Manager Bud, and more importantly, you seem to know a lot more about this place than we do. Haha, I don't actually know Iberia that well either, but I should be able to be of some help. They've closed their borders and have practically locked out any foreign influences from affecting them, but I did get a briefing before the mission. Closed borders, huh? Then how'd you get it, Miss Amiya? We followed Dr. Calcis' directions and illegally crossed the country border. Ah, thanks, Calcit. Illegally? Oh, does it mean you crossed the border without obtaining any permission, Amiya? We had to cross the border somehow in order to investigate how and why the dimensional door came to be. Huh. Is it normal for pharmaceutical companies to be doing that? Large pharmaceutical companies often dispatch their agents for missions. Yes, Rhodes Islands is, in its essence, a pharmaceutical company researching treatments for people infected with oripathy. But we also work to prevent and assist in the management of various situations that can occur in high-risk areas. High-risk areas, huh? Wait, what about your companions? I doubt you came all the way here on your own. That's, we were forced to split up due to certain forces that were in pursuit. Wait, stop! Amiya's ears twitched as she came to a stop and began scanning the surrounding area. Then, there! As he stood about confused, Amiya, noticing something, pointed towards the seashore hidden behind large and cracked rock formations. What are you supposed to... Huh? Oh! Scotty! Hi, Scotty! Huh. There we saw someone wielding a lengthy greatsword, bickering of two familiar faces. Ah. Again, move. You're in the way. You needn't worry as you do. We have ample experience battling monsters who are much like them. Listen, I'm not worried. It's... Come on, it's better to have 3 fighters than 1, right? Besides, you're the first person we ran into out here, so we've got a lot of questions to ask. Isang! Ishmael! Tante, you are unharmed. And here I was getting ready for a 3 days long search. What a relief. We were all really worried that we might We were all really worried that we might never be able to find you. We managed to find them thanks to help from Miss Amiya here. Amiya? Are you two acquainted? Not a good time for a reunion. It can wait until after we take out the sea monsters. Scotty, are those organisms the seaborns Dr. Calcit mentioned? They're sea terrors, to be specific, the less sophisticated ones among them. And they're probably here for me. Sea terrors? I hear this. Oh. I didn't like that sound. I hear the sticky noise of something viscous slithering against the rocks. When I turned to face the origin of the unsettling noise, I smelled a heavy, wet scent of brine. At the end of my gaze, oh wait, strange monsters, unlike distortions, unlike abnormalities, unlike anything I'd ever seen. Okay. I hated dealing with these dudes in Arknights. How bad are they here? It is as though the sea itself, is encroaching on the land. I was almost certain we weren't at the Great Lake, but I'm not so sure anymore. Her experiences with the thick scent of brine at the Great Lake must have put her in a weary mood, as Ishmael seemed to be a lot more apprehensive about these monsters than anyone else. Do you think those creatures could be whales or mermaids? I don't know. The Great Lake and the outskirts are full of unexplored mysteries, after all. Ante, what do your senses say? It's unclear. I'd say the closest comparison I could make is with the whales, but even that's not conclusive. Huh. More enemies on the horizon. We should prepare for battle. Doesn't seem like we can talk things out with them, though. So, let's take them out. Ah, it's a bigger CG. This is nice. I like the lighting. The lighting is really nice. Do you think we can see Amiya's infection? Oh.
カンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて本当に嬉しいです。
Aww, that's cute. Wait, what is this music? Wait, let me... There we go. This should be a little bit better. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, okay. This fox. This fox.
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えました。敵は深手を負っています。
Yeah, this fox. This absolutely fox. Holy shit.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
그 삶의 마침표를.
ドクターのように優れたスキル
대검 방어.
It's really funny to me that they ripped the in-game sprites from ARKNIGHTS and slapped it into Limbus.
敵は深手を負っています。
Did they? Or I don't know, it seems like they made their own sprites. That's what it seems like. I don't think this is in-game model. The dungeon OSC is really good too. Oh fuck. Okay. No. Max stacked area 30 stack becomes staggered and take fixed damage equal to 25% of max HP and remove the... Sinners on the whole Nerothy brand turn and take fixed damage equal to 5% HP and gain 3 nervous. No! No! No, it's the fucking salted Nev. No! Oh god, please, no! I don't want to deal with that!
쪽방이 아닐 텐데.
効果的な攻撃でした。
대검 방어.
Oh, that's such a pain. No. Oh, God. Oh, that's gonna suck.
このままいけば敵を食い止められます。
Because some of the opera singers there. Yeah, they got a singer in there, yeah.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
The in-game sprite for Amiya announcer. Oh, that.
대검 방어.
Oh yeah, just damn.
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前です。
Skilled as an elite operator. I don't think they can do stuff like Logos does. But sure, Amiya. Sure.
그 삶의 마침표를.
Nice. Okay, so far it's not that hard, but I can imagine this going very bad very quick. Especially— no fucking way! Mission accomplished? Are you kidding me? What's the game over screen then? What is the game over screen then? Oh god. I wish Limbus had a collab with ARKNIGHTS monkey paw finger crabs. Skilled as an elite operator, hides the win rate tab. All remaining enemies have retreated to the sea. Good work, everyone. Didn't think I'd deal with anything remotely like this outside the Great Lake. You can say that again. It would have taken us the whole day if that Scotty character didn't occupy the other half while Miss Rabbit helped us from a distance. As we were catching our breath after we catching our breath after the battle, okay. I heard a brief hum. When I turned to look at the source, I saw Scotty glaring at me with palpable alarm. Strange people who transform. And ahead of clock. I guess they're both technically true.
Well, it's nothing more than a theory at this point. I think they had to do a lot to do with the dimensional door we're supposed to be investigating.
Nice to meet you, I guess?
I only hear a ticking clock. Oh, that's because only us sinners can hear Dante's voice.
Huh? What's up?
No, I'm just wondering how Miss Amiya can seemingly understand Dante.
Yeah, what's going on there? Yeah, completely flew over my head that I didn't even question how weird this is. Oh, hello, Oikel. Hello, I'm under the water. Please help me. Blub, 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 blub.
Their voice sounds like a ticking clock to me too, but I don't know. It's almost like I can sense what they're trying to say, what kind of emotion they're trying to convey.
Her explanation reminded me of the blue boy in Sinclair's past, but I didn't quite feel the uncanny sensation from Amiya that I felt from them. I see. So she can read me kind of like how Virgilus can, I guess? Well, I don't think that's a bad thing. That's true, it's been a bit of a hassle to always need Faust or Honglu to translate for you, Dante. I'd like to know exactly how she can understand Dante, but I don't think we got the luxury at the time to sit down and figure this out. So, are we heading back? Sounds like a plan. It's not like we know anywhere else to go, right? Oh, and Miss Rabbit here will be tagging along too. She said she'd help us find our way back.
I'm glad to be working with you two also, Miss Ishmael, Mr. Honglu.
Took the words right out of my mouth. You've already helped us plenty, and you clearly know a lot more about this place than we do. The journey is long. Perhaps embarking on it ere the sun's fall would be wise.
How long's the journey?
No idea. It's not like we have a clock with us. I do know it's not very far though. We just need to walk along the coastline for a bit. Scotty quietly points in my direction.
Ah, Dante can't tell us time because they're not in time.
Because they're not on time.
Then why the clock head?
I didn't exactly choose to get myself a clock-shaped head. I looked away from Scotty's inquisitive eyes, which are all quite solidly fixed on my head.
The coasts of Iberia are hardly good places for people to live. Those things can go anywhere in the world, but they thrive at places that meet the ocean. So how did people manage to build a village at a place like this?
The monsters are called Seaborns, or Sea Terrors, yes? Well, it is true that they pose certain difficulties. They were hardly the kind of monsters with the strength to bring scourge and drive out the local populace.
Don't judge them based on that brief skirmish.
She's just telling us to be on our guard, right?
Scotty can be a bit curt, but she's not a bad person.
I don't think she said anything wrong. Nothing rules out the existence of stronger variants of these creatures being out there. Scotty's concern only served to fan my curiosity, but something about her expression communicated that I probably shouldn't pry, so I quietly quickened my pace as we walked to the village. It's just fashion. Blue gaze confirmed.
사용한 탄환값을 빼면 오늘은 제사비로 손해를 메울 필요가 없네요.
Do you think Amiya can understand that because of the Black Crown? Maybe. Maybe. Scotty's racist? I don't think she's racist.
This hardly looks like a yeah, that hardly looks like a village. What the hell is this? It's more of a ruins of one, isn't it? It doesn't seem like they've done any proper upkeep to this place. Not in a while, at least. They're really here, living together. The strange buildings tell the stories of former prosperity from a bygone era. Our steps leave no footprint on the wet, muddy ground. On it, I see a rotting sign marked with the name Faro Muerto. Everywhere I look in this village, I see evidence of long, silent abandonment. We don't see these kinds of long abandoned ruins often in the city either. Well, yeah, there's always someone or something out there waiting to capitalize on that free real estate. Be it a syndicate or a corporation, and fix it up. Better than this, at least. So, where are the sinners? Ah, they're clearing down there, where... We were entrapped betwixt a twain of great ships, narrowing winds against our sail. Ooh, and that's when young Ishmael boomed her command most resonant. Say no more. I didn't even have to try to search for them, that unmistakably sonorous and familiar voice echoing triumphantly between empty buildings. That's Don Quixote's voice when she sang her adventurous tales. And there she was, standing on top of a low podium like an actor on stage, regaling a group of people in rags with tales or adventures like a traveling thespian. Answers, ye dogs! Oarsmen! 'Tis the moment I, Ishmael, the first mate of vessel Mephistopheles, shall navigate. Stop. Hold on. What do you think you're doing? Young Ishmael, unhand my mouth, for I was about to regale them with the most fantastic tale adventures that the great Manager Esquire. Verily, thou hast returned with Manager Esquire safely in tow. Oh, they found Clockhead? Is it a burning clock for a head? When I was a child, I heard a story about legendary sarcasm with a flaming head. Why would someone like that visit our humble village? While their exterior might carry elements that inspire fear in some, there's no cause for alarm. Yeah, they might look like that, but they're Dante, our manager, and the rest are... Oh, hello. I'm sorry, who are you two? They're two very nice people who helped us find Dante. This is Miss Amiya, leader of Rhodes Island, and this is Miss Scotty, their operator. They'll be coming along with us for a while. Ah, with us? We believe that the dimensional door, which we at Rhodes Island are investigating, has something to do with why you suddenly showed up here in Iberia. As Amiya was bringing up the sinners up to speed, the villagers who were staring at us curiously approached us. Did our conversation manage to convince them that we're not a threat? I sure hope so. Ah, so you are friends of our saviors. Saviors? Verily, it is quite the grand title, yet that is indeed the word by which we addressed. To be more precise, by saviors, they are referring only to Faust and Otis. Faust gave me a light nod when we made eye contact, but I could tell her lips are drawing a very, very subtle smiling arc. So I'm guessing something did happen. They were quite mistrustful upon our first arrival, or initial arrival. Oh. Now that I think about it, can they use Dante as a bonfire? I don't know. Faro Muerto Dead Lighthouse? Oh. I mean, Muerto is dead, right? And then Faro... I don't know what Faro means. What business do outsiders have here? What if they're from the Inquisition? Oh no, what do we do after all we went through to get here? Calm yourselves, everyone. None of them are carrying what appears to be their scriptures or lamps. Let's first try to see who they are. Man, I don't think they're gonna trust us anytime soon. They're all old curmudgeons. Let's STNC, then PTSD. You can't do that, Ryoshu. We can't pillage their storage depots. It looks like they already have it hard enough as it is. I don't think STNC is a good way to get started either. Should we just find help elsewhere? Just look how thin their arms are. I don't think they're in any shape to help us out. Perhaps we could inquire as to our whereabouts ere we are to decide our lodging. While the landscape is certainly reminiscent of U-Corp's, but I don't recall seeing or learning about any place that looks like this. Though I can't say I've been to every corner of U-Corp. I ask again, what business do outsiders have here? Their fingers are tightening around the grips of their weapons. Prolonged silence will most likely turn this into a hostile encounter. We can't have that. Hi, we're from Limbus Company. We're fixers of justice. Yeah, that fixers of Oi! Don't you know when to keep it down? Fixers? That over there. It's a ship blueprint, isn't it? Are you looking to repair a vessel by any chance? All these construction materials seem to suggest so. Chief, this does not concern you. It's not something a mere outsider can understand. Curious. I've never seen an energy source like this before. Have you run the test to rule out any stability issues? It seems to power the heat exchanger via some method comparable to the utilization of fusion energy. Have you any thoughts on this, Miss Faust? The general design structure is somewhat old-fashioned, but there are certainly inspired parts to the design, particularly with the usage of core energy source. While stability would need to be further studied, this technology seems to be incredibly energy efficient. You identified all that merely by glancing at this blueprint? You must be the village chief then. If so, I have a proposition for you. Ah, of course. You can say it will become a black silence. Sure. Sure, whatever floats your boat. In return for assisting their ship repair, we were promised a ride on their vessel. Miss Faust has theorized that perhaps going out to sea, we may be able to find a way to return to whence we came. Does that mean we can find a way back to somewhere out there in the sea? Nothing is certain yet, Dante. At this moment, we are working on a hunch. A hunch? Sensing the implicit omen in our choice of words, I slowly turned around to look at Faust, who nodded sullenly in response. If we're really in a different world, even her Gesellschaft has to be. No issues were encountered in the repair process. Faust smiles faintly as she looks around, then she pulls me by my hems. She whispers in a low voice. My connection to Gesellschaft is currently operating at a suboptimal level, Dante. So it's still connected, at least. Indeed it is. However, even exchanges of simple information are taking up dozens of hours by current calculation. Is this a warp train situation? Because we're in a different dimension? The cause should be identical. We have been connected to an unidentified, unpredictable dimension. However, Faust is aware that the pathway to our original dimension is yet to close in this time, unlike the situation back aboard the warp train. So to get back where we came from, indeed, traveling through the pathway is the most feasible solution. And from there, you came up with the whole plan to repair the ship and sail it to the sea? Yes, well, I am also a genius, after all. Amia conjectured that we probably came through a dimensional door of sorts. Looks like that dimensional door might be what Faust is looking for. With high likelihood, yes. At least there's a way back. I found myself calming down a little. Oh, speaking of which, when do you think you can wrap up the repair job? As fortune should have it, a majority of the most time-consuming parts of the repair have already been completed by the locals. It shouldn't take us more than a day or two to get its core parts ship-shape again, Executive Manager. We'll be staying here for a few more days then. How did you manage last night? Well, like I said earlier, we've been keeping ourselves busy by looking for you this whole time. We took turns helping with the repairs and resting, but I doubt any of us got a proper night's rest. Still, we weren't cold thanks to the villagers to get the fire going for us all night. Not to mention, they helped us a ton with the local map they drew us. Oh, also, Chief handed us this earlier. What's it for? Oh, it looks like a sack to collect water. Give it here. I know how to get that installed. It must be to repay Miss Faust and Miss Otis's efforts repairing their ship. Yet the service they provide us is certainly quite generous, even when taking the transactional nature into account. They're really giving us the best treatment they can, huh? As for food, we managed to fill ourselves with some cookies and bread Roja keeps in her pockets. Didn't want to eat their food supply when they're already pretty tight, you know? She carries enough cookies and bread for 12 people. Damn. Where does she keep it all? Like, how many pockets does she have? They did offer some nosh, those dried fish things, but we refused. I ain't about taking food from the needy. No need to concern yourselves with much to our hospitality. You have done more than enough to earn your keep. I turned around to look at the source at low, rumbling voice and saw an old man in an outfit that seemed to distinguish itself from amongst other villagers. There you are, Chief. Is there a place for us to stay tonight? We do have places to shelter from the misty humidity at the very least. There's an empty building there, so feel free to occupy it for the night. Oh, are you sure? I mean, I don't mind sleeping in the streets myself. Hey, speak to yourself. I've been looking forward to sleeping with a roof over my head since, like, yesterday. You'll catch a cold sleeping in the elements in this environment, which is fine by me for the rest of you, but we cannot afford to have the executive manager or our honored guests suffer that fate. Honored guests? I heard what happened from the four who left in search for the executive manager. First, I would like to begin imparting my infinite gratitude for you by finding and rescuing the executive manager. I hear that you're a leader at the pharmaceutical company. This acquaintance shall certainly come in handy in case our stay becomes significantly prolonged. Haha. I'm just surprised by our boldness to say something so materialistic when they're standing right there. Can I stay in your village too, Chief? The village chief took a brief glance at the hems of her right wrist and nodded. Welcome to Ferro Muerto. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. But please, do let me know if you find yourself without food. Our food supply may be tight indeed, but we have enough to share with those who help repair the vessel. Ooh, you better not go back in your word later. I wonder what kind of local delicacies await. Tried fish, like they were eating earlier, maybe? Hey, Chief. What is it? Just how are you surviving out here? By the sea? Perhaps the question of how we are surviving may be somewhat misdirected. For we are only pursuing every possible avenue because we must survive. The chief responds to Scotty's perceived hostility with a hearty smile. After leaving some firewood for the night, he left. I'm going. Can't learn much more from here. Huh? You're going somewhere at this hour? Scotty, does this have to do something with the coast? I remember what you said before we got to the village, something about how coasts are hardly good places to live in. Dante wants to know if this has to do something with the coast? You. Do you understand the Ager language? Ager language? No. Dante, Scotty just spoke in Agarian. I couldn't understand a single word of Scotty and the chief's conversation because I don't speak Agarian. It may only be that there are enough lexical similarity between one of the city's languages and the language Scotty spoke in them to comprehend the meaning. Weird coincidence. Anyway, I have some things to look into, something you're all too slow to see. You still have to tell us about it later. Please remember, you're not on solo mission, Scotty. This is a team effort from Rhodes Island. Will do. Scotty nodded lightly before leaping off into the night, out of her sights. I'm kind of worried. She's not the best with people, but she's also pretty thoughtful. She'll be okay. Should we head inside? The sun's starting to set already. Yeah, we can probably pick an unlit building and stay the night there, right? Trying our best to ignore the mood that was starting to turn awkward, we made our way into a nearby unoccupied building. Okay. Interesting. Mephi is just a router for Jessel shot. Dante is up to date on their tooling. I wonder if Choco we're literally trying to fix a bow here. Yeah, and it'll be done. It'll be done in a day.
Ironically, Scotty's the most sociable of the Abyss Hunters. The rest of them are batshit crazy. Well, let's see. Let's go over them. We got Opianus. He's he doesn't really talk much, does he? Yeah. Opianus doesn't talk much, and then there's Gladia. She's also kind of crazy. We don't talk about Spectre. Spectre is Spectre. Yeah, that's all of them, right? Yeah, that's all of them. Honorary mention, Andriana. Honorary mention, Andriana. Oh, great CG. Absolutely fantastic CG. We walked past a few narrow buildings and remnants of narrow buildings before we came across a hall large enough to house all 15 or so of us. Okay, now we're ready. With the curtains on the window removed, the smoke has an exit. Whoa! I thought we were doomed to shut ourselves to sleep with soaking wet firewood and all. I had no idea that would work. We just had to get a small fire going underneath until the wood dries up and catches fire. The downside is being all this smoke. It is clear she has some field experience, unlike some fools I know. I shan't sit here and let her carry the burden of labor alone. Bequeath upon me thine ingredients, young Rhodian, for I shall conjure thee upon a special fixer soup. You're making soup with cookies and jelly? No! You're not getting anywhere near the kitchen again, not after what you cooked up last time. Well, I must admit to a certain level of interest. As many of our fellows, viscera are often racked with intense agony upon ingesting dishes of our making. Perhaps it'll be wiser that if we save the occasion for a safer environment. Right! Don't you remember we agreed to leave cooking to Mayor Oti if we're ever in a situation like this, remember? Did we? See, I think it's become sort of a unspoken rule after everything that happened. Remember, back during last year's cooking contest at K-Corp? They were the only two people who managed to get remotely positive reviews. Oh, does that mean we'll get to try Otis's cooking once again? Denied. We still have plenty of high-calorie foods like cookies and jellies here. I find no reason to do something so inefficient. I'm glad to see that everyone's still energetic given the circumstances. It can't be easy to suddenly wake up in an unfamiliar environment. Well, we're all quite used to getting thrown into unfamiliar places. Speaking of which, did you manage to reach your colleagues, Amiya? She shook her head, concerned. They might have lost their comms devices, or maybe ran into some other trouble. Could they be in danger? I don't know, but I'm sure they're okay. The Dr. Calcit, they're more than capable enough to look after themselves. Long have this curiosity lingered within me, thus allow me to inquire. Corporations, by their nature, are organizations in pursuit of profit. Yet the activities of your corporation resemble those of charity organizations. Charity organizations, as opposed to a pharmaceutical company. Is there aught that might be there that might explicate this blurred distinction? Aha! I wanted to know that too. How come a pharmaceutical company like Rhodes Island's helping people? Something about what Honglu said brings back unpleasant memories. The horrible experiments seen through the cascade of flowing tears and the faces suffering. The embodiment of greed that led to terrible wound in Honglu's fathoms. The pharmaceutical companies I've seen on my journey were corporations that, despite possessing the capacity to heal, chose to obsess over the profit it can provide. There are many in Terra who are suffering from a disease. The disease crystallizes you. It spreads deeper and deeper into the infected internal organs, eventually culminating into their death. It's called oropathy. Amiya showed me the back of her right hand, dotted by what appears to be obsidian crystallizations. Its appearance reminded me of the bio treatments from the back streets, but there was something more to it. Something more restless, more sinister. It's a terrible, painful disease, but there haven't been any recorded cases of full recovery. But there's an even worse problem. Pray tell, what could possibly be worse than an incurable, deadly disease? While it varies by region, discrimination against the infected is widespread across Terra.
Those who suffer from it must face unfair treatment. Yizong began with a dark expression. Some are quarantined in places with terrible, inhumane conditions, and there have been massacres too. I don't mean to be callous, but what is this uropathy highly contagious? No. There have not been any recorded cases of infection by contact as long as the subjects are alive. But when the infected dies, the crystal grows in their body, decay, and turn to dust, scattering witches that spreads the plague. Then, barring environments like active battlefields where casualties are to be expected, staying within close proximity to the— Fuck! I can't fucking speak! I can't talk! Watermelon. Then, barring environments with like active battlefields where casualties are to be expected, staying within close proximity of the infected in daily life seems to pose hardly any risk. So what's the problem then? They're already past the point of caring about what the problem is. Once people start feeling iffy, all logic goes out the window. Then Rhodes Island's goal has to be— Yes, it is important to develop a cure for uropathy, but I think what really matters is that we change the circumstances for the better for the infected. That's not going to be an easy endeavor, though that is what gives your effort more meaning. I hope you can achieve that goal, Amiya. I really do. For true. The city, this world, we both live in worlds full of surprises, don't we? What kind of world did you come from? This city? What kind of place is a city anyway? The kind of place with too many pointless rules. The kind of place where the moment you think, is this too much? You see something even worse. Try as I might, I couldn't think of a single positive thing about the city. The sinners seemed to be in agreement, as most of what came after was quite scathing. The kind of place where good deeds rarely ever go unpunished. Where sympathy is a good attitude to have if you like getting stabbed in the back. Nothing good ever works out there. It's a shithole. And it's an irrational place full of absurdities. Absurdity is an omnipresence. Therefore, it is not a subject by which one should be aggrieved. We can at least grouse about them, though. I mean, it's the only thing we can do. It'll be more correct to experience more and acclimatize oneself to it instead of complaining. You did say something like that last time. Just as the mood was starting to turn rather sour, Don Quixote's shout shattered through the awkwardness. Verily, nary a day goeth untarnished by villains and their fell deeds. Yet worry thee not, for where evil riseth, so doth fixers of justice to— Don Quixote jumped from her seat and passionately shook her fist, which was followed by a heavy crack and a sound of small pebbles tumbling down. Don Quixote, watch out! Who are you? And from behind the wall, she accidentally broke down. An unfamiliar visage of a villager appeared and stared back at Don Quixote. It appeared that she was eating something out of a can while reading a book. How farest thou? I thought you gotta apologize first. Last seemed a tad too hyper today. Apologies, for I hardly expected the wall to crumble with such ease. Art thou unhurt? Any injuries? Pray tell, to what? Forget the apology, I just want to know what happens next. The fixer of justice rose up to do— what? Oh! Hast thou come to me to hear the tale of fixers? I don't know what's coming to us, given how Miss Don Quixote is the one who punched the wall down. Ahem. Oh, is it too late of an hour? I don't mind watching till morning if you want to sleep. Nay, not at all. 'Tis quite early for an hour for deals. In fact, prithee, seat thyself here. You ungovernable fool, calm down. We don't even know who she is. And don't you forget to share those fixer tales over there in the corner. Do not disturb her sleep. Thou makest a request most untenable. These tales deserve to be announced to the world with great gusto from the center. Yeah, that's the best way to hear those kinds of stories, but we probably should introduce ourselves to each other first. Name is Mayers. I'm... how should I put this? Ah! Did you meet the village chief earlier today? He's my gramps! Oh, that's the guy? So he had a granddaughter. Yet I have not seen you once, Miss Mayers, under the sun. Oh my, you're right. I thought the village was completely dried of any young blood. Like Rodeo said, while we didn't see mayors out there, there wasn't anyone else in the village we could comfortably call young. You're telling me Gramps was worrying about over nothing and told me to stay inside, going on and on about the dangers of the outsiders pose and everything? It seems they do not give full faith to their saviors. There are things you cannot share even with whom you trust with your life. Though I'd like to know why. My. So there's a bunch of other kids who are stuck indoors in this village? No, there isn't anyone around my age in the village at all. If that's the case, I guess I can understand why he'd be so overprotective. Anyways, it's our turn. We are... I'm good. I've heard enough to get an idea. You did? Oh, pray tell, how didst thou hear us? Via listening device most secret upon our chamber? Mayor stepped aside of the wall, the part of it that was still standing anyway, and smiled ironically. Bad soundproofing. I can hear pretty much anything, Don Quixote, right? Everything Don Quixote practically sang during the day. Verily, I see. I think you could really do some sense of embarrassment for once. Well, that's good enough for self-introductions, so... Here to regale me with tale of fixers to bring justice to the evils of the city? Indubitably, then. This shall do. I shall regale thee with a tale in which the legendary fixer, the Arch-Magnificence herself, the Red Mist, hath... I suppose I killed my anyhow for a good night's skip. But, don't you usually pass out within a minute of your back hitting the hay, no matter how noisy things are? What? Do you take me for some kind of hibernating bear or something? Look, even I have trouble sleeping when there's noise all over. No, he did not just fall asleep. He did. I'd say bear in hibernation is a pretty apt descriptor. For all that grumbling and moaning, he dozed off before any of us did. Aside from Heathcliff, he began snoring the moment his head touched the ground. Some other sinners were fast asleep as well. Marisol had entered sleep in his usual steadfast adherence to the routine, while Faust laid claim to one of the few available cloth sheets as soon as the close of business for the day was confirmed. The sinners who had spent the last entire night searching for me in this unfamiliar land slowly began to fall asleep as well. Meanwhile, the Fixer is by Association's first section. Though the night was no longer young, Don Quixote was still vigorously sharing the tale's adventures without even a single sign of fatigue. She's not determined to do this till sunrise, is she? Oh, guess it's okay since Mare seems to be having fun. As I continued to watch the pair with some mild concern, Amiya, not yet asleep, approached me. The city Miss Don Quixote speaks of seems to be teeming with fixers of justice and exhilarating tales of adventures. Did you actually experience all of them yourselves? No, of course not. Don Quixote's stories are usually those of other famous people. But she's telling it with such vigor that it almost sounds like she was there herself. Well, I guess if you really want to get into it, some of them might be retellings of Don Quixote's personal experiences. Ishmael replied uncertainly, thinking back to the plays that we were made to watch back in La Mancha Land. Well, I think all those stories, even though they're only partially true, just go to show what a ridiculous place it can be. We wouldn't need fixers of justice to begin with if we really lived in a just world, right? A really good place to live would be quiet and peaceful without someone having to force it. That's true. I hope there come a day when Rhodes Island can be a normal pharmaceutical company in the future. Something wrong? No, I just saw Miss Mayers and I made eye contact. Did she overhear our conversation? I looked her direction as well, but all I saw was Mayers excitedly reacting to Don Quixote's tales.
Whoa, what happened then?
Thus spoke Lady Otis boldly before the soldiers who stood in her path. Thou presumest to stand in our path, servants of a master most unworthy. I, Otis, shall educate ye on how manner maketh. Don Quixote was now retelling the stories of Limbus Company's adventures in Hongyuan, and Otis, who could no longer stand Don Quixote's unintentional alterations of the story, jumped to her feet and shouted, "Damn it, what kind of nonsense are you feeding her? I never said anything like that." Fairly, certain aspects of the retelling may have been exaggerated.
That's Tales and Adventures for you. Things are bound to get a little bit dry when the story's told too realistically and as is, right? You know, nothing, not even anything resembling a proper record or a book remained once the profound silence swept through this village. So I've always had a craving for these kinds of stories. But Iberia doesn't stop Iberians from immigrating, contrary to their tight immigration control. Have you ever thought about leaving this place? It's still a challenge to cross the border, especially since we're going to have to pass through larger cities that are managed by the Inquisition.
You don't seem particularly fond of this Inquisition. Why is that?
That's because this village was formed by people who grew tired of living under the Inquisition's rule and fled.
I'm sorry, but what kind of organization is this Inquisition? Sinclair asked, face turning cold upon hearing the word Inquisition, and that people fled from it. Yeah, the Nagel und Hammer we saw back at Claw weren't the kind of memories that were easily so forgotten. Or Kalb? Kalb? Is it Kalb? I don't know German. You're not pharmaceutically. Why is pharmaceutical such a hard word to pronounce now?
According to Dr. Calcid, the Inquisition is what filled the power vacuum once Iberia fell into chaos. That is, Inquisitors are the rapier and lamp-wielding protectors of Iberia's cities from lawlessness.
That alone kind of makes them sound like good people, though.
Yeah, they are, but there's the Church of the Deep. The Inquisition will go to whatever lengths to deal with the incidents related to the church that worships Seaborns.
Fee, an organization that worships those monsters? It seems that cultish fanaticism is a plague whenever we go. I feel like people with all kinds of wrong faiths and beliefs are so common.
See, the Seaborns are the ones that messed Iberia up, so following their logic, apparently it's okay for them to arrest anyone who seems even remotely connected to them. Are you saying that Iberia is like this because of the Seaborns?
Those things from earlier? I guess they're kind of troublesome to deal with, but they didn't seem that strong.
Anyway, that's just what I heard from Gramps, but the Inquisition executed many innocent people too in their crusade against the Church of the Deep.
For those who proclaim to be on the side of justice, they seem quite fond of committing such villainy. It seems like a reasonable policy decision to me. But it must pose a clear danger to the daily lives of civilians.
Yeah, I heard I was the only survivor. Everyone in my family died.
You must have had to endure such a long period of pain to be able to say something like that with such composure.
For Iberia, there are heroes who have been back to land towards glory days, but to Gramps, they were just oppressors making his life difficult. That's why we've all come from here, fleeing from the Inquisition's gaze.
Yet, wherefore hast thou decided to settle at a place that is so,
Run down?
Indeed.
Yeah, I know, but it's not so bad once you get used to it. Besides, we managed to find a new path thanks to you guys.
A new path?
Well, it's getting late. Will you be repairing the ship tomorrow too?
This place really has no soundproofing at all, huh?
Good talk, everyone. Hope we'll get another chance to do this tomorrow too.
After seeing Mayers to our own room, the other sinners, who were still up anyway, and I laid ourselves on a hard stone floor with only a thin layer of cloth between it and our backs. A mysterious world as neither the city nor the outskirts, but it seemed that the lives those people led were just as difficult as they were anywhere else. I'm back to this CG. Okay. Kinda sus though. Kinda sus of mares. Hmm. Vessel Masas. Clear within 15 turns. Now I get everyone. Okay. I mean, hug will work pretty well, so like... I think I'll keep it on this, and then she's just good overall. Put her in the back, put her in the back. And then do this, and then probably put... Yeah, there you go. This should do. This should do. Alright, you don't have the Night of Despair. Yes, she refused to come home. It's so big.
Amazing! I didn't know there were remaining vessels of this class in Iberia.
Aha! I spy her name here. It is called the name Rebellion de las Masas. Rebellion de las Masas. Revolt of the Masses, is it? A name very much mired in peculiarity indeed. Honglu chimed in that he was rather fond of it with its size being about the same as the boat from his home, while Ishmael quickly jumped in to correct us that its size alone wasn't anything special at the Great Lake, but it was still pretty big compared to Mephi or the Indigo Elder's skiff. I thought it was going to be somewhere between Mephi's size at most. Are you sure you can get the ship fixed in a day or two? As I briefed you yesterday, the majority of the time-consuming repairs have already been completed by the villagers. The extent of our repair efforts only concerns a few components within the vessel that the villagers could not repair, which shouldn't take us much time. Unless parts that are unfamiliar to Faust are also well-functioning, such as the core engine. The remaining repairs should be sufficiently managed by Faust. Despite Otis's confident declaration, I could not help feel oddly unsettled as I looked at the ship. I don't know why, but something tells me that we don't want to linger here for too long. Still, please be thorough about it, just in case. I'd rather not sit on a sinking ship again. The experience at the Great Lake was enough.
Do not worry, Dante. Unlike Mephistopheles, most functions of the vessel, buoyancy gear, propellers, steering gear, are all in operational capacity. This repair should be much easier than the case with Mephistopheles.
They seem confident enough. It should be safe around this time, right? Safe this time around, right?
Are we taking that rope to climb up to the ship?
No, there's a lift-like apparatus down here. It should take us to the ship. It should take us up to the ship.
Its stability was verified yesterday. Let us aboard the lift.
You're 100% certain, right?
The bloat?
The bloat? The bloat? Jesus. This pair? Yes, this pair. Despair?
The boat is afloat right now, Dante. I don't think it's gonna be sinking anytime soon.
Wouldn't that be nice? Oi! Are you two just gonna laugh about down there? We're heading up now. No, we're going with you. As I made my way into the vessel's bridge. Oh. The golden age will return again. I was greeted by the extravagant interior that was as gaudy as its exterior. This isn't real gold, is it? Sure is shiny as heck in here. I got butterflies in my stomach. A.S. Aesthetically satisfying, she says, but too ostentatious. Not quite my style. Our young Mephi is quite the excellent vessel, yet imagine the adventures we could embark aboard this vessel and most lavishly decorated. Faust noticed we're working on one of the control panels. Ishmael walked up to another and interfaced with it before giving a knowing nod. This must have been an investigative or research vessel of sorts, but it seemed a bit extravagant for one of those, though. Look, coordinates. Updating in real time, it seems. The coordinates seem to have been set to somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Maybe it points to a small islet?
No, islet here.
Ah! Blimey, lass, you sure know how to sneak up on people. Mayors?
What? Did it actually surprise you? I did ask if you guys were gonna come fix a boat today.
Still, I didn't know you'd be here. Why are the coordinates set to this location?
There are several undersea cities beneath those coordinates, collectively known as Aegir. Gramps' home.
I see. Understood. What was understood, if I may ask?
It is now understood why the promise to repair the ship was sufficient to earn their trust and the title of saviors.
What's she on about? Someone get translated.
Consolidating and cross-referencing to observe particular circumstances of the village and the statements from the village chief, alongside information garnered from the exchange with mayors, it is possible to gauge the significance of the ship's repair has to the local populace. Of course, while this may constitute a sequence of logical connections that poses a certain challenge for Heathcliff to comprehend, to employ any degree of effort to attempt to explain it in more digestible language would constitute a pursuit of inefficiency.
Lower the baton, I implore you. I shall explain it in full. I was wondering when Miss Smart Arse would start gabbing like that again. So, what's she on about? Heathcliff's shoulders were relaxed. It didn't seem like he was actually going to swing the bat. He placed it lightly over his shoulder with a sigh. A brief observation with the village seemed to suggest that their subsistence situation was quite dire. Much of their daily sustenance consisted of dried food, most of them made for long-term storage purposes. Considering what Scotty said about how the coastal areas are full of danger, maybe those dried seafood aren't from around here either.
Maybe it's food they packed when they first came to Faro Muerto?
Some villagers were armed, yeah, and those sea terrors weren't exactly that formidable, but given the state the villagers are in, I doubt they have an easy time repelling those monsters. Indeed. And that brings us to the question of sustenance. Right, I get what's going on here. The last son and granddaughter are about to visit their hometown. They're trying to get some food supplies from there to feed the villagers and to convince them. They're trying to use the fact that they're from the same neck of the woods. Or sea, I guess.
Oh, so we're not just repairing their ship, we're repairing their food supply plan too. Huh? What's wrong?
It's, While the expressions were rather crude, Heathcliff's summary of the situation was clear, to the point, and easily understood. The sinner stared at him with a mild surprise. Surprise! And I did too! What's with them annoying looks? Wait, oh you sods. You don't think I'm that dim-witted, do you? Top-notch intuition. It's just that it's been a while since you've shown this side of yourself. Thinking back, Heathcliff's intuition has always been excellent. He'd often put together surprisingly accurate conclusions with impressive speed. You know, it's when you really think about it, it's kind of your fault for... Huh? I've been too soft on you lately, haven't I? Oi! Get back here! Okay. More tea for me. Because God, this is a lot of reading. Now, with those fools out of the conversation, was he correct? Otis looks away from the usual chaos and asks Mayers.
Honestly, I'm surprised. He was on point. Yeah, food's been running low in the village. At this rate, we won't last another year. But the Aegir will... I'm sure they'll welcome us with open arms. I don't want to come off like I'm overly worried, but do you think they'll welcome the others too? Unlike mayors or chief, they're not Aegir. I believe they will. Iberia suspects and hates the Aegir for no other reason than that we're from the sea, but our home cannot have fallen solo to abandon a group of starving land dwellers.
Pretty, might thou explain us to who the Aegir are? I had initially thought to be a reference to a region, yet it also seems to refer an affiliation of sorts. Maybe there's something like nest dwellers, though I don't think I've heard of a nest that accepts Backstreet's people with open arms. Or maybe they used to be some rich folk? If they called the nest tops Aegir here, that does make them rabbit your last Aegir too.
Wait, in the world you came from, do they not distinguish between races? That is not entirely true. Delineation between races is a concept that does exist.
Though I only saw them in the fathoms, they were those terrifying things called the cuckoo spawns.
However, as a general rule, it can say that humans should be the only intelligent life forms in the city. The people of Terra have slightly varying appearances depending on their race, like my COURTEOUS ears.
And I've got pointy ears because I'm an Aegir, though it's not a characteristic every Aegir shares. The closest idea to what they were discussing appeared to be, Don Quixote seemed to be struggling to finish her sentence. Marisol stepped in to continue. By context clues and a manner of word usage, including the means of classification, the closest example in our world would be blood fiends. Similar internal appearances to humans, different natures, comparable sapients. It is of my belief that blood fiends are ostracized due to their nature that make coexistence of humans difficult. It may be that the Aegir are also...
I'm sure some of them do possess qualities that make coexistence with others difficult, but they're probably rare.
Then wherefore are they made subjects to suspicion and hatred?
That's...
Well, the language is new, but the idea itself is pretty similar to the city folks like us. Think of feathers that follow wings, kids born in backstreets, people who replace their body parts with prosthetics. The form differs, yet in its essence we find the thread. Something about how we keep finding these finding these similarities in the ways of our lives. Jesus. Despite finding ourselves in a distant world with different rules, races, and humans. Felt oddly discomforting.
Ahem. The point is, you guys are doing us a real solid by fixing up the ship. Let's move on from these gloomy conversations, okay? I want to show you the cooler parts of the ship. This way. The ship tour may have to wait. The repairs are almost completed, but an issue has arisen.
Issue? Wow, that's not reassuring at all.
Multiple life forms identified ahead, assumed to be Sea Terror Horde.
The ship's radar system seems to suggest that his vessel is surrounded. They're the same monsters from yesterday. Executive Manager, please order us to prepare for battle. Damn it, are they the sea terrors you encountered? They look a little bit different, but yeah, probably. There's a lot of them, but if our last experience tells us anything, we should be able to handle this. Elmia, please let us please support us in battle like you did yesterday. Can Estelle fight young mayors?
I feel like I'm just gonna get in your way.
Then, guys, find a place to keep mayors as far as possible from the battle. Let's hurry down there. We don't want them damaging the ship any further. Okay. So much talking.
이 정도 대련쯤은 별것 아니죠.
Dawn's not gonna like the journey ahead, will she? No.
성실하고 멋지고 열정적인 아가씨라면.
웨이, 혹시 요즘 그 오티스라는 자랑 어울려 다니는 거 아니지? 나 부끄러우니까 그만해.
Yes, that one. Alright, we're beating up Aegir. I'm sorry, not Aegir. We're beating up Seaborn. We're gonna fuck him up. Thank you, Isong.
첫 여정을 시작했을 때보다 정말 강해지셨네요.
Jesus Christ. This is a lot of reading.
방금의 움직임 두말 없이 100점 만점입니다, 아가씨.
For that matter, didn't Isong get extremely seasick while on the Great Lake? He did. Oh. He's not gonna be okay, is he? Oh gosh. He's not gonna be okay. Nice. Nice. Alright, we do that, and we can do that. There we go. Nice. I can only hope a trash can or a bucket will be nearby. I can only also hope that he gets a bucket. Also 20 enemies?
강호 유람기라면 이스마엘 그자가 진행해주는 탁자 위에서 하는 놀이 말이십니까?
놀이가 아니야. 모험이지.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게요.
Fun fact with the new Gregor, your priest Gregor has the most energy since his self-bleed count for the passive. Ah, that counts? Really? I did not know that counts. Thinking a break? I'll be fine. I think I'll be fine for a little bit longer. Nice. Nice. Bing bong. Okay, so there's 12 out of 20. There's 7 on the field. So there's 1 in the back. Okay.
만만찮겠군. 본인이 하지.
대검 방어.
Nice.
움직임이 어설퍼요. 편히 쉬시게.
Nice.
선생님은 매번 기발한 발상을 떠올리시네요.
Nice, 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 nice. Okay.
위험인물
Go kill him.
우리 쉽게 풀린 적이 드물었는데.
If you could win the clash, please. Thank you.
그자가 진행해주는 탁자 위에서 하는 놀이 말이십니까?
놀이가 아니야. 모험이야.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
정화되었네.
There we go.
축하드립니다, 아가씨.
Mission
이 정도의
accomplished.
성과라면
Oh, that's so
400
weird.
레전드도 인정할 수밖에 없을 겁니다.
좋은 수업 덕분이지. 배운 게 많았어.
That's so weird. Hearing it in Limbus.
그 정도 화력으로 우리 사무소를 막을 수 있을 줄 알았냐? 저놈들 무기까지
Okay.
들어서 철수하자고.
I'm gonna go get more tea. I'll be right back in like 5 minutes. I'll be right back, okay? Blah, 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 blah.
Hello, I'm back. Hello, hello. I got more tea.
All right. Small tide. Small tide. Small tide? Ooh, wait, I can bring... I can bring a Marisol. Wait. Who can I...
걸맞는 곳이어야 할
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12?
전가요?
Also, as much as they're great, they yap a lot. A little too much, in fact.
죽음 충동 억제, 관념 봉인.
Alright. We got guns, and we got one Heisho, and a stick of concrete, and just a guy. Cool. Also, I just realized they have the other guys. Ugh. Ugh. I hate that. Oh, wait. Standby. It's just like in game. Just like in game. Annoying, mother truckers. Huh.
대검 방어.
We got gun sword slap and a gun rocket sword thing. Yeah.
와,
Okay. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I hate. In fact, can they not do that effect? It'll be really nice. I hate nervous impairment. It sucked dealing with it. Playing through all of the Aegir and Seaborn events and Arknights. It sucked. Ugh.
간다.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
Jeez. Okay. That, and then... no, don't use
타겟
all that yet.
한시 방향.
그렇게 서 있으면
Nice.
떨어져 있어.
She's fine.
사선이 비었어요.
시야 확보. 쏜다.
He's dead. Nice.
간다. 놔.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
Nice. Actually, does he take damage every time? Combat state. Take fixed damage up to 10% HP. Hey, okay. Just like in game. Hell yeah. Alright, so we got that, and then...
불가 위험. 막아내지 못하리.
그대 또한
그 정도인가? 그렇게 서 있으면
공로 지원한다.
Nice. Nervous impairment haunts me in another world. Alright, how many enemies? 5. Okay, we can kill all of them. We can get all of them here.
내 뒤로.
Nice.
움직임이 어설퍼요. 사선이
Is he
비었어요.
gonna... No.
지원한다.
Fuck him up. Thank you. Nice. Ugh. Why does he take such little damage? Ugh. Huh.
받아볼 텐가.
There we go. The sun smile reaches out to all.
The remaining entities have all returned to sea. Is everyone okay?
It was just like our last skirmish. Sea terrors that had surrounded the ship returned to the sea even before the battle came to an end. And the retreat felt too orderly and deliberate to be just running away. It's almost like they're making a tactical retreat. We're doing peachy, but what about the ship? Foul, is the ship okay? Minor damages to the hull, but nothing that will impede the ship's operational capabilities. Oof. So, I noticed during the battle, I might be wrong of course, but I think I noticed how around the end of the battle those monsters were starting to go after the manager. You're probably right. Actually, I noticed too. At some point during our battle, the monsters realized that it's the manager who's commanding the rest of us. I sensed the very same. Their movements were fluid and adaptive, as though they were learning our behavior. Why does the Church of the Deep worship monsters like them? It ain't much of a question, innit? They must have all gone mental.
I'm sure they have many reasons, but seaborns are beings of infinite potential, so much so that there's no superlative big enough to properly convey their skill. As organisms, they can endlessly evolve and adapt. Every time they encounter a new environment or a new element, they transform themselves into other seaborns. Maybe that's their draw.
The fascination may be an attitude most befitting a researcher, yet the transformation of fascination into idolatry is, if I may be frank, not entirely positive. I find them pretty uncomfortable. They just remind me of whales. Then can they adapt to learn language to communicate with us? What? Going by everything we've heard, I think they sound really smart. Mayor's eyes went round at Honglu's suggestion. She brought her hands to her mouth surprised. It sure was something.
I heard there was a seaborn who could talk.
If non-humans speak the language of humans, regardless of its testament to their intelligence, I can only think of two possibilities as to why they would. One, to communicate with humans. The other, to deceive humans. More often than not, it's the latter. What about distortion? Some of them already know how to speak.
Distortions are the phenomena in which humans transform into monstrous forms, first observed after the White Nights and Dark Days incident. Therefore, that example is irrelevant to Otis's suspicion.
White Nights and Dark Days, she whispered quietly, but just as we were standing rather close to her, we all caught the hint of a joy in her voice.
The Pillar of Light in the city. Did it really?
How have you come across this knowledge, Miss Ayers?
Oh, that's...
Ain't it obvious? We got the culprit right here. The storyteller lass has been gabbing on with no end.
Yeah, she's been talking non-stop all morning about all kinds of stories, hasn't she?
Well, I have not gone that far. You again? You didn't get so lost in your own stories that you blabbed all about our company secrets, have you? Nay! Simply not! As Don Quixote was subject to another round of scolding, Amiya stared out towards the sea, wary that sea terrors might start crawling to the surface once again, before turning towards us.
I wonder which the two the seaborns are?
Their sense of self is really, really faint, so I don't think they'd be in either category. I think it's possible that they learned human language out of instinct, that the power of speech might help them survive. It appears that you, Miss Mayers, are quite the expert on the subject of seaborns. Your knowledge of them goes beyond what fear for one's survival may yield, thereby suggesting a different means of acquisition. Do you, by chance, worship the seaborns?
I don't worship the seaborns. Seaborns don't have any hopes or wishes. Just desire for survival.
Miss Mayers, does that mean if seaborns are somehow able to hope...
Maybe so.
Is that so?
The repairs are complete.
As we were conversing, Faust descended from the ship with a neatly organized set of tools borrowed from the village. Repairs completed. So I'm guessing the repairs are done? Yes, the ship is ready to sail. Did you have a departure time and date in mind? I prefer if we depart as soon as possible. We don't have a set time or anything, but I think we should be able to set sail late afternoon at the earliest. That soon? As you've seen, we don't have a lot to bring with us. By the way, how far at sea do you guys need to go? We need to find this dimensional door of sorts. I can see the dimensional door's light from the beach at night. It was faint, but given how the light's strong enough to break through the sea fog, we should be able to determine its location somewhere around the coastal waters. So we can go back tonight?
The first order of business is to relay the news to the villagers.
Yeah, back to the village for now. Seaborn's embodiment, improvise, adapt, overcome.
사용한 탄환값을 쓰면
It is...
오늘은
It
계산으로
is...
손해를 메울 필요가 없네요.
Okay, chat. I don't want to alarm you, but we have enough for another 10 pull. So roll number 100. This is cursed. I swear to God. If this is Honglu again. In 100 pulls, if this is Honglu, just like on my main, I'm gonna... Oh my god! Oh my god! Come...
직구의 항해 용이 되어 빈 벼루에 남았구나.
This is most unfortunate. This is... Damn, should have sharded. He eats me, Chuck. Alright, how much is it to uptide? Oh, what? Huh? 150 from somewhere? Rojas. Because I believe this gives like a... It's 8 plus 6 to 10 plus 6 plus other stuff, so... Yeah. What egos? I have only gotten Honglu's. This is the only one. Tis very sad time. Oh, would you look at that? Another 10 pull. Yeah, the game, I think... Hold. Hold. Wait. Hold. Wait. Let's fucking go! Let's go! Let's go!
Let's go! Who?
나와 결투할 자인가?
Is this... Hi, Sync Dawn. Okay. Not that I needed more Don Quixote IDs, but... Ooh, you know what? I can use this on that. Yes. Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. Holy crap. Okay. If I remember correctly, gain aggro, protection, heal SP, and then he does the swing, burn tremor. When other allies get hit, okay, or killed. Yep. Let's go. You saved it nice? Yeah. I forgot. Wait, who was I gonna use it on? I don't remember. I was gonna use it on something. I was using it on someone else's wall. I don't remember. Oh well. 110 pulls for 2 egos at this rate. You're at the spark Faust's ego. Yeah, which is the sad part. We will see, though. We will see.
There's something going on in the village.
Yeah, I hear it too. I'm hearing people shouting and hollering. When we returned to the village, ship repairs completed, we were welcomed by a rather hostile standoff. A quick count told me there were approximately 20 people assembled at the village square. Considering its population, it was pretty much the whole village. Who's that over there?
Inquisitor. I think we've been found.
Ah! Ah! Hi, Irene. Fancy seeing you here, Miss, I choose gun. And dude, what? The damage in like a weird, like, AoE around herself? The Inquisitor, dressed in a well-kept uniform, was about the same height as Don Quixote. The sword and lamp hanging from her waist sits in stark contrast with the more run-down, ramshackle village. She almost looked like a fixer from the city. So the Inquisition has discovered our village.
Did you really think that you could forever stay out of the Inquisition's gaze, citizen?
That's a naive dream.
Fabius disappeared from the Inquisition mid-interrogation under charges of under suspicion of membership within the Church of the Deep. Last known location, Salt Flat. The other Inquisitors have informed me that you have been identified next to pirates in its fringes. From a criminal to an outlaw, what a dramatic evolution of a career. But it ends here, now. Every citizen here, including you, will be accompanying me to the Inquisition.
They have never broken a single law, nor are they outlaws of any kind. They are not like me.
They disregarded the Inquisition's authority, evaded the gaze of Iberia, and found this sodden coast to lurk in. Tell me I'm not supposed to find that suspicious.
What are you talking about? You can't just start arresting people left and right with tenuous suspicion like that. You shouldn't. We only wish to live a quiet life, ma'am.
Is that so? Then you might find yourself returning to this village one day as long as you're telling the truth. Which is not an option for you, Fabius.
Mayors, was Chief really a pirate?
Well, yeah, but as far as I know, he's been out of the game for a while. And even he ran with the pirates. All he ever did was share Finby's jerky to villages, or carry Agarians between them. Even if you're telling the truth, Mayors, I doubt the Inquisition will be lenient.
Well, what now? I have one question to ask. That Inquisitor, is she following the proper legal procedures?
I don't know about the laws of Iberia, but Dr. Calcit told us the words of Inquisitors were pretty much the law here.
It is likely that she is following proper legal procedures. The procedures are precisely what the villagers have fled from, after all. Then it is decided. Otis quietly dragged me to the side and whispered outside Mayor's earshot. The sinners who are right next to me seem to have picked it up, though. Executive Manager, we best immediately return to the ship, take command of it, and sail out on our own. It is unwise to involve ourselves in this conflict. What? Are you seriously suggesting that we just let them arrest the villagers? Didn't you hear what the Inquisitor said? It seems quite cut and dry to me. If this is a standard procedure with no laws broken, we are in no place to involve ourselves. Our best hope is to take the ship before they can impound that too.
We can't do that, even if it's standard procedure. Even if they're working within the law, it's not... You stayed up to hear Mayor's story, didn't you?
You know, the N-Corp Inquisitors were working within the law too when they came for the village. That was standard procedure too. If anyone has stepped in then. I know what you went through, but I'd still rather not take a risk in an unfamiliar environment like this. I'll try my best to figure out how to sail that ship. If not, then I can have faith in Ishmael to quickly learn its controls. I can't say you're wrong, but I don't know. Neither you nor I know anything about the ocean currents here, Otis. We can get the ship going, but I can't guarantee that we'll reach the dimensional door without any trouble. You. Do you know anything about the sea currents in this region?
Not much, but I know the coastal sea somewhat. And you can't fight the Inquisitors directly here in Iberia. Fleeing with the ship might be the better option.
What should we do, Dante? Yeah, it's kind of awkward for us to take the ship and go, huh? How about we try to talk to the Inquisitor then? At least, I think we should at least try to hear them out first. Them being the Inquisitor and the Chief both.
If the discussion goes well, we might even be able to get Inquisition support. Like Mr. Honglu said, you should hear them out first, then try to convince them.
I agreed with them both. First, let's at least see what the Inquisitor has to say. Rabbits is right, she says? Are you certain that translation was accurate, Sinclair? Right? There's no way Ryoshi would choose anything other than violence, right? Idiots. It's because the other options are pointless. Inquisitor seen us. We're already under suspicion. She will doubtless try to stop us if we flee now. So talk first, lower her guard, then attack. I'm pretty sure that's not what Amiya meant. Well, if she's already onto us, then we shouldn't give her an excuse to attack us by running away.
I was wondering what you were doing here, lurking in the background. A clock-shaped head. Are you from the Colombian Union? They're wearing a clock for a head due to reasons, but they have nothing to do with the Colombian Union.
What's the Colombian Union? TikTok? What language are they speaking? Regardless of whether you're from Colombia or not, you're clearly not from Iberia, let alone this village. Yeah, you're not wrong, but I think there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. I'm quite certain you don't know enough about these villagers to stand between them and an Inquisitor. How long have you been staying here? 2 days? Buddy, just don't tell her that. 2 days? Alright, get enough of the chicanery. Get out of my way, outsider. The attempt appears to have been made on quite the unstable ground.
Please send us your ear for a minute, Inquisitor. I'm Amiya, leader of the Rhodes Island. Yes, I'm aware of Iberia's closed border situation.
I felt hope swelling with me as Amiya began with confidence, unlike Sinclair. Alas, it was short-lived. Thanks to the Inquisitor's short retort, I can't help but place my palm against my forehead at the exchange that followed. Oh, so not only we are dealing with outsiders of dubious origin, we have illegal entry as well?
Well, we had to because of the issue demands urgency and...
I've been briefed. Recently crossed the border, didn't you? I don't know how urgent the issue could be, but I doubt it's anything more significant than the situation at hand for Iberia and its Inquisition. The High Inquisitor is handling the Rhodes Island issue. Stay put and await the consequences while he and the chatty med doctor of yours talk it out. Do know that your treatment may depend on her negotiation skills.
As for the village chief, I understand that you have the right to arrest him, as he is a fugitive that has fled in the middle of an interrogation and has been sailing with the pirates. However, it is an inhumane treatment to arrest the rest of the villagers as well. inhumane. The decision is well within the rights bestowed upon the Inquisition. They have lived for years next to that highly suspicious Ager. The Inquisition must investigate the rest of them as well to verify whether they committed any acts of treason against our laws. This isn't going anywhere, is it? Listen, they've been surviving for years upon years by the coast without the protection of the Inquisition, and that simply cannot make sense. Oi, I think I've heard enough from you. Ain't it funny how you're blaming them for what's essentially a failure for your responsibilities? And then you roll up here only to go, they shouldn't be alive, I'm arresting them all. What, you saying these people should be dead or something? I am. There's no other way to cut this. People simply shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this. Not for long. The Inquisitor's reply only seemed to fan Heathcliff's wrath as he lifted his bat and began striding forward. That's it. Last if you ever so much as touched the tip of a single villager's hair. Please calm yourself, Heathcliff. But Honglu stepped in between them. Get your bloody hands on me. I had enough of her. Continue to threaten her will cause something irrevocably bad to happen. I believe you know that yourself, Heathcliff. What are you suggesting? We're not clearly making any progress by trying to talk this out. Excuse me, Miss Inquisitor, but what do you mean by people shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this? I mean it literally. Even by some miracle that they actually do survive, they should at least be suffering from endless hunger, struggling to their wits' end at the inevitability of the calamity. But they look too healthy. The heck? Then shouldn't you be applauding them for managing to survive through so much hardship? I'm an Inquisitor. I'm not some crazy person on a power high who goes around costing and arresting civilians of Iberia straight to gallows, okay? I have more than enough probable cause to take them in for interrogation. It's just that I don't have the time or the energy to explain every single one of them to you outsiders. I promise them a fair judgment, whether that may be after a proper investigation. So stop it with this obstruction of justice. The Inquisitor brandished her rapier threateningly, her voice shaking from frustration. Dante? Without the full picture of the circumstances, Faust advises against further antagonization of a local political authority. I agree with Faust. I get the feeling she isn't the kind of heartless Inquisitor that goes around indiscriminately executing innocents like Miss Mayers told us about earlier. I don't think she's anything like the Inquisitors of N-Corp we saw back at Calf. They were right. We didn't have the full picture of the circumstances. Getting in the way of an Inquisitor who was clearly a rather significant political entity in the area was most likely a bad idea. It isn't the Inquisitor's job to answer your questions. To continue to instruct me, then? As the standoff was showing no signs of ending. Miss Mayers? I can't answer your questions, so for now, let's do as the Inquisitor says. Mayers, who has been hiding behind us ever since we returned to the village, suddenly stepped forward. Yet, what of thy grandfather and the villagers? It's alright. I'm sure this is happening only because the Inquisitor doesn't know. What do you mean you'll answer all the questions? About the profound silence. Mayers' response to Otis was a single concept. I didn't quite grasp its significance, but it seemed to surprise the Inquisitor. That's what they call the calamity that destroyed Iberia. Ah, yes. Blah blah blah. I am definitely still not used to talking this much. Do I continue? I don't think my throat can take much more. Sadly, I don't think my throat can take much more. Yeah, I think this is I think this is it for me. Yeah. Although I am happy that I got 2 out of the 3 egos on the banner. Kind of sad that it has to be within 100 pulls, but there's always next week. Plus this ends next month, so it's a lot longer, more time to get more resources, more lunacy.
yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be it from me. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out. If you want someone who's basically around like the same like same area story-wise, May Friend is also streaming, so go check her out if you wish to. But that will be it for me. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging. Tomorrow I'll be streaming some more Final Fantasy 14. I'll be continuing Heaven's Ward. We're gonna be I don't know, fucking around with dragons, I guess. So yeah, there's that. I'll be streaming at regular times. Sorry, pardon me. 5 p.m. EST, 2 p.m. PST, or 10 p.m. UTC, depending on where you are in the world. Yes, if you wish to support me financially, without YouTube taking 70% of the revenue from Super Chats when I unlock that, I do have a Ko-Fi in the description, so if you want to go check that out, I would much appreciate it. If you could like and subscribe to the VOD, that'll be really nice, considering YouTube's been absolutely crappy recently. So any type of engagement really would do fantastic for me, and I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's everything. Again, thank you all so much for coming and hanging out and watching me babble on and die over collab pulls. But yeah, please take care of yourselves. Please stay hydrated, and most important of all, please be kind. Be kind to each other. Be kind. All right. I'll see you guys. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye.